boat festival. He said I'll never walk normally.
Oh, you are? Yeah.
Again.
No, it's okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
No, not here. I have it.
I think it's supposed to rain. I think they said something about thunderstorm.
Yeah, it's very cool in Nebraska. That's the one I see.
Are you from Nebraska?
Yes.
What part of Nebraska?
South City, right in the corner where Nebraska, Iowa, and South Dakota meet right up in the very river.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Maine Lobster Festival, the 70th anniversary. And this is our seafood cooking contest. And as you can all tell, our chefs, we have 5 chefs, and they're definitely underway. We'll be speaking with each of them this morning, but I'll let them get a little situated before we start bothering them and talking to them. As you can see, it's a busy area. Secretary is going to be helping out with that as well. If anybody in the audience does have any questions, feel free to ask either one of us.
I got it unplugged. Correct.
I need to, you know.
My station's on really important.
But last night I didn't feel like walking, so I drove to high school. They had pedal bikes.
102.5.
Okay, we're gonna try this. Thanks.
Yeah.
So you're staying right in your house from there? Yeah, my car is 17 years old. I have it all boxed up. So I don't have to pay to get it.
Where you guys at?
It's a hot shell lobster, that's why.
Yeah, I used hard shells too, but you just cook it. I felt like the poaching, it wasn't really cooked. It was harder to get out.
That's fine. That's
You
not
got it
bad.
all out. It was not cooked at all.
It's not bad.
With its number. So then they'll move to number 2. Number 2, where right, so we don't want to play
Fun now.
simplicity.
I bought some shells for Walmart. I wanted to use it to put it on my window. Big window. But it wouldn't fit on the window. It wasn't big enough, so I had to get it.
We have one person that runs a local restaurant in town. It's a chef at a restaurant in the area, in the Midcoast area. So we like to make a chef. So she's here for the first time, and I try not to get the stage. Right, I get it every time. I know. It's awesome. Oh, no. He's from New Jersey, and Sue down there. These 3, well, Bob is from Blue Bay Harbor, Maynard's from Alsed, Jim's from South Thomaston, and Sue is from South Carolina. won the contest before.
Find out what you're doing this year?
Number one.
Oh, then you can look at the cooking contest at the Maine Lobster Festival. Stand later. You want to do it? I'll clear your bag for you.
Khaki and
Brandon's there.
spring roll.
King, would you like to just chat really quickly to the audience and tell them about a little bit about what you're doing?
Yes, I'm making just 1 second.
Okay.
A sous vide lobster tail. And I'm going to deep fry the claw, so each dish will be containing the whole lobster. And I'm getting hard shell lobster from this morning, so it's like really lively and it's almost, clawing my fingers off. So it's great. And on the back of beef noodles, which is a Chinese noodle that is pre-fried to reinforce, it soaks up the lobster stock that I'll be making very soon. That's why I'm heating the pan, like the board and and also garnished with a spinach puree. So like the puree that balances up the bottom
Hear any of the other contestants, but I just like a little bit of background on King. King entered the Buffalo Chicken Wing Contest in Buffalo, New York, and he won the contest. So I think that's pretty amazing to win the Buffalo Wing Contest in Buffalo.
No side dish today.
But can we get a
Cooking.
Cooking. Yeah.
My recipe back there was the Thai red cherry sauce, and it was pretty, well receptive by the cookers.
Very good. Obviously, it must have been well receptive if you won. So, and we do. I just wanted to briefly let everybody know that the North Entertainment Tent is sponsored by the Hampton Inn, and so we appreciate their taking care of that for us. And another sponsor of this year's cooking contest is Fiore Artisan Olive Oil and Vinegar. And a little bit later on this morning, Pat from Fiore will be here to join us, and you'll be hearing from him a little bit. He's offered his olive oils, I see one right here, to each of the contestants. And if they did need some of either olive oil or vinegar, they were great. He graciously donated those to the contestants before the contest. So thank you to him. So we'll keep talking to the contestants throughout the morning. Jim, do you have a few minutes?
I do. I'm early this year. I got number 3, so I don't have to go first. I got a little time. Anyways, I got a best buddy who's a scout fisherman, and I was able to get 6 to 8 pound scallops off him, which it only takes 6 or 8 to make a pound. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to butterfly them open. I'm going to stuff them with crab meat, lobster stuffing, which I caught right out there in this harbor because I'm a lobster fisherman, so I caught my own ingredients. I'm going to bake those off in the blood orange olive oil, which is real citrusy and suck up the citrus flavor. And I'm going to top them off with a sherry-based blueberry with a side of asparagus, garlic roasted asparagus.
Thank you, Jim. And I look forward to tasting that. Jim, I'm a friend of Jim's, and I've had the pleasure of going to sample of his dish.
We'll get it later.
Okay, now we're going to take a quick break from me talking. Barbara is going to, she has some awesome prizes to give away. We're going to do a little bit of trivia, so I'll turn that over to Barb.
Hello. Yeah, so I'm going to ask some questions about the festival. I'm going to ask some questions about the lodge.
And I forgot that big plastic bag I wanted to remember.
Hopefully somebody's
The
going
big one we were talking about yesterday. Big plastic
So I thought
bag.
I'd start off with maybe a relatively easy question. What year is this year's event? Alright. Okay, so a lobster question. What is a lobster called that's lost 2 claws?
Can you just give me 1 minute?
Oh, sorry, I'm probably on my phone. Nobody knows that one? You're okay, we'll save that one.
I'm turning now.
Does the Maine Lobster Festival serve on average each year?
has some, oops, oh, your picture again?
I should have practiced that, you know? We're starting to have fun. Got all the tools, huh?
It's all cooking, right?
Yeah.
Like an end.
Decorate the tables with everything. They have to bring everything. It's really fresh. They buy all of this for the contest. So this is a huge investment for somebody to want to be a participant in the contest.
And what are the prizes?
The prizes are I know, right? I was hearing that there's actually a short video for this.
Okay, well, reduce your record.
So we're gonna ask.
What the heck, right?
This is the audience dish I'm making right now.
You give her a card. You give her 20 punches on the card. How's it walk?
Is a returning winner of the Maine Lobster Festival Seafood Cooking Contest. So, Sue, what are you making for us today?
Making grits, and they're not the typical little white grits. They're full diner that has no butter on it. So they're a little more flavorful than that. And they've got lobster tail sauce.
And Sue is from South Carolina, so she probably knows a thing or two about good grits and not cream of wheat grits, like I've seen.
It is for roasting the lobster shells that brings more flavor to the stock.
I actually had never seen one of those used before on seafood, so that was really interesting. I've seen it used in like creme brulee or some dessert type things, but that was pretty interesting.
Eventually, but
三新鮮，OK。This is a mountain yam.
job, yeah. Sampling all this stuff.
Well, after a while, you know.
Yeah. I know. One more try.
One more.
One more. Fix.
I didn't want to overdo it because I was afraid I'd get, you know.
I had to bring everything with you. And
That's the hardest part, you know, really.
know what you need.
And I was worried you know what I was afraid of most? The electric stove. I'm used to gas.
Maybe while you're putting this in, you
Probably 8 of them make a pound. 6 to 8 of them make a pound.
just go like this.
And I asked them for 12. They said, yeah, you have 12 of them. I'm running 32, so I have no other home to make my phone. Oh, I got a whole dish. What's next? I'm going to actually put the stuff in there. And I'm going to wait a little more time before they go in the oven, but I have to stuff in there for a while. I'm ready for everything in the oven. Well, that's cooking on the pretty good. One at a time, nice and hot, so I'm at 11:45, so I can see 11:10 is going in the oven, so I have a little time to go. Everything prepped, downhill. Yeah, it's all about simple, few ingredients. I did it last year, but I haven't tried anything, and when I made it originally a couple of weeks ago, actually I had to write it down, 20 minutes. And then I roll it for about 3 minutes on the shelf.
It has to be vacuum sealed.
I like that scene in the movie where the
And he's going to give us a little background on what he's making today. So Maynard Stanley from Owl's Head.
Yes, what I'm making is a lobster spring roll with shiitake mushroom and wheat. And for dipping sauce, I'm making a lobster bisque and brioche lobster claws for rolls.
I don't know if anybody saw it already, but he made these really cute little biscuits that are in the shape of lobster claws. So they're adorable. And I mean, he just baked those this morning. I mean, like in the last 20 minutes. So Maynard does a lot of different cooking contests in the area. He does the blueberry pie contest over at Union Fair. Is that right, Maynard? And which other contests do you do?
Well, the Union Fair, that's blueberry pie contest, blueberry muffin, or blueberry dessert contest here. Then Winter Fair, there's an apple pie contest. The lobster mac and cheese for the muscular dystrophy. And the chili chowder pie. This one's local. Love pie.
And Maynard certainly loves to cook. I have a business in town, and Maynard often brings me little samples of things and says, "Hey, try this. Do you like it?" And I'm like, "Great, yeah." So how much fun is that? So Bob, how are we doing? Do you got a second?
A couple more minutes.
Okay, couple more minutes. Okay.
More manageable.
Hey Jim, do you want to tell people about some of the other things that you cook and are good at with that?
Yeah, sure. I have done contests as well as some of these other people, and I have taken the chowder, first place in chowder at Trackside 2 years in a row, and so I tried chili the year after and took first place on that as well. So I do a lot of cooking like that. Patriots games, 8 games last year. I run the tailgate, and we have things like lobsters, scallops, crab claws, every steak known to mankind, every sausage flavor. We have quite a tailgate. And there's usually like 30 of us at every tailgate. And at friends' parties, I just push everybody off the grill. They don't have a chance.
And I don't think anybody minds being pushed off the grill, so Jim can take over. At 11, but we're going to just shuffle the numbers around. Okay? And right now I'd like to bring up one of our sponsors for this year's in the past several years cooking contests. Pat O'Brien, come on over, Pat. From Fiore, artists in olive oil and vinegar. Pat, thank you for being here this morning. And you want to tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Sure, thanks, yeah, this has been fun. This is, I think, six. Fiore is a company my wife started about 8 years ago up in Bar Harbor. We import extra virgin olive oils from all over the world, and we import balsamic vinegar from Modena, Italy. And we have tasting rooms set up, Bar Harbor, Rockland, Brunswick, Freeport. We're inside of the vault in Lewiston. We're inside of Tiller and Rye in Brewer, local grocer up there. And we've got little arrangements with folks out on the islands during the summertime, Pine Tree Orchards over in Sweden, Maine, a rustic beef company up in the county, and mixed up kitchen over in Farmington. So we're all over here. But right here, we're down at the end of the street on Main Street, just before you go to the ferry terminal. And we're set up as a tasting room so you can come in, taste all the balsamic vinegars, the extra virgin olive oils. Right now we're at the end of our northern hemisphere harvest, so we'll be starting to bring in oil from South Africa, Chile, Australia, and Argentina over the course of the next 3 weeks. But if you can get down there, there's a really cool thing that we did over the winter time. We've always had a blueberry balsamic. It's in Maine, so you know blueberry balsamic is pretty popular. Well, it's made with a blueberry extract, so we didn't know where the blueberries actually came from. So to get the Reader's Digest version of the story here, my producer in Modena, Italy, went to school in Montreal at McGill University, loved Maine blueberries while he was there, and started talking to me about, wouldn't it be great if we could make balsamic vinegar and use real Maine blueberries. So I got with Wyman's of Maine, who's the big name in wild Maine blueberries around here. During the winter time, we did they produce a whole fruit puree. I got that over to my friend in Italy. Is that it? Yes. It is. Good. And Maynard's going to win because he's using that. So anyway, we brought the puree over to Modena. I went over in February. He started to play with it. And about 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks now, I guess, after many samples that he sent, we settled on this one, and it's a really nice, real Maine blueberry balsamic that's worth a taste if you're walking down. So, she left me. So it's really good to be able to sponsor. What we did is we made available to all the chefs the use of any oils or balsamics that they wanted to bring into their dishes. So there's a couple of them that have been here before. There's some new ones, and there it is. I remember. Yeah, they told me you were in yesterday. So thank you. So does anybody have any questions about olive oil or balsamic vinegar? How do you use it with lobster? Try lemon olive oil with lobster instead of using drawn butter. The problem I always have with drawn butter is it gets cold, and then it gets all, thick. So then you turn and you use one of these little heaters that they have to keep the butter warm. Well, then it's really hot. And so we got into the olive oil business about 8 years ago. I decided to try extra virgin olive oil instead of butter. And it's awesome because it's better for you than butter. It never gets chunky. What I do is I take a straight extra virgin olive oil, and then I put a couple of drops of cherry balsamic in there, and that sweetens it up. It doesn't affect the, it doesn't minimize the taste of the lobster, but it's really good. So if you get a chance, try it.
So Cynthia.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm so glad you're here today. This is one of the
the most amazing parts of the festival is to see these amateur chefs working with lobster products. It's a way for you to learn what they're doing, get some new ideas for yourself. Talking to Pat, who is such an expert with the olive oils and all of those things. It's amazing. We're so fortunate to be here in the mid-coast of Maine where we have such amazing natural resources of fish and lobster. And we're very proud to say that all of the lobsters that we serve here at the Maine Lobster Festival are sourced in Knox County. So all of it comes from Knox County. And we're hoping to break our biggest record ever for the Lobster Festival was 21,000 pounds served in 5 days. So we're looking at all of you to help us break that record. So we expect you to get hungry here and then go hit the tents, okay? So we really, really appreciate you being here. And if you have any questions, please ask these guys. I'm sure they'd love to answer any questions you have about how to prepare great, fresh Maine lobster. Thank you, Celia.
For those of you just joining us, we have some fun questions.
Right now, I'd like to check in on our cooks. There's a little discrepancy online, and so there is a. I'd rather have your dishes come out real good. But if the people are, whoever's ready first will get to go. So everybody, take a deep breath and keep cooking. King, how you doing? Good. Jim, you doing all right? He is going to let me know when that happens. Oh, I guess Bob Borger. And Bob, tell everybody a little bit about your dish and where you're from.
I'm from Buffet Harbor. We recently relocated about 3 years ago. And today we're making a lobster sformante, which is a cross between a souffle and a custard. Pretty good, I think. And to add a little crispiness to it, I did a little remoulade with panko breadcrumbs and chives and lemon zest. And plating it will be fun too.
Very good. To find out, how it works and what it's all about. And I do promise next year that the time will be right on the...
And testing it, but you make this over and over again, you never want to see it again. But hopefully it'll be good, you guys will enjoy it.
Great. Thank you, Bob. And once again, like he said, his wife's been the guinea pig. You're all going to be guinea pigs because you're all going to be getting a sample.
Oh, okay.
I call that Don's Texas. You're going to have to wait about 45 minutes over here. Forget about Don's Texas. I could take you right now. I just don't have to wait. Just get in my cab. Okay.
Has taken the time to come to the Lobster Festival to get very special guests, the judges for this year's seafood cooking contest.
I did think about it.
And I'd like to have you, each one of them can introduce themselves. I'm going to start with Sharon Joyce. You're going to tell everybody about your background.
Well, it's nice to be here. We never see lobsters in Bar Harbor. After I graduated from Northwestern, I started doing corporate training. Later, I started a cooking school in Chicago and the Virgin Islands, and also did catering. Came up to Maine, and once you get here, you want to stay. So I've been here for about 32 years, and was just overwhelmed by all of the seafood and freshness, all the markets, everything just wonderful, and this kind of weather. So I have a cooking school in Bar Harbor. It's called Ambrosia Cooking School, and we do a lot of Maine dishes like chowder and poppers and lobster and blueberry muffins and blueberry pie and all of those kinds of things. Making it easy and simple for people to cook. It's not the kind of recipes that 25 different ingredients and you go. So we try to make it easy for people, and I also do a number of international cooking classes, such as, well, Crucian cooking, but French cooking. I studied advanced French cooking and French pastry at Cordon Bleu in Paris when there was just one. French cooking, all different Chinese, Italian, Indian, all kinds of fun things to learn. And by you all being here, I'm sure that you're enjoying the idea.
Oh, the big one's out?
Yes,
Seeing something new. And that's the same thing with a cooking school, is that hopefully it inspires people to say, I'll come back. So that's my background.
Emily Wall, and she is the executive officer on our visiting Navy ship, the USS Mahan. So Emily?
Hi, it's very nice to be here. Thank you for hosting us as a ship. We're actively involved in volunteering for this wonderful festival that you put on. Actually, if you can see my uniform, I don't really have any culinary expertise. However, everywhere that I've traveled, I love to sample the cuisine. So we just returned back from deployment, and we pulled into Larnaca, Cyprus, and that was a very pleasant surprise with the Mediterranean cuisine, and I'm really interested in sampling what Maine has to offer today for the cooking contest. If you have a moment during the day, we are offering tours. About 75 personnel can make it to the ship about once an hour. So unfortunately, some of the lines can get long, but you're welcome to visit the ship while we're anchored here in Rockland, Maine. Thank you.
For everybody on the ship being here. Thanks again. And third, but certainly not least, we have Kelly Woods, and Kelly is an owner at Trackside Station, a local restaurant in Rockland, and Kelly is also a former director of the Maine Lobster Festival, and also was the coordinator director of this cooking contest for a number of years. So Kelly has a great deal of experience in that, and thank you very much for being here, Kelly. Can you tell them a little bit about some of the other things that you do?
You summed it up. No, I'm just happy to be back here. I'm so excited to be a judge because when you're running it, you don't get to sit down and eat and enjoy all the dishes. So this is the first time I'm going to be able to do that. And if you folks are visiting, I do invite you to come up to Trackside. We're located in the city's historic train station. We've been there since 2009. We were happy to host and welcome the Sea Princesses and their escorts and the commanders and the Festival Coronation Board. On Wednesday night, we hosted the coronation dinner before they came down here to the grounds because it's a short walk. They all walked on down afterwards. So we invite you to come on up, and congratulations to you. This is a lot of work to put on. So can everyone give Celia a hand of applause?
I'd like to bring a girl, come on up here. We have somebody, Dream Local Digital is the company that actually covers all of the media, like our Facebook and other things. And
Actually, relatively easy if you were just paying attention. So, what is the name of the visiting Navy ship? All right, I'm going to re-ask one of the questions that nobody could answer. Okay. A what? I don't know. We call it a pistol. Yeah, good job. Everybody quiet enough, so I'm sorry.
Is this yours too?
No.
That's my new bird. Oh, that?
We'll beef them up.
dish. Jim is pairing his with something to drink too.
Yes, I have a choice of some local white wine, Fat Bastard, and I have some Francis Ford Coppola red wine, or I have some lemon water.
Again, they're scoring on use of Maine seafood, simplicity of the dish, appearance of the dish, and then of course taste of the dish. That probably is the most important one. And then when Jim is finished with that, he's going to start getting some samples ready for the audience. So you'll all. Yes, Barbara is going to be passing out. I'll put recipe copies up. Actually, I'll put the recipe copies up near Jim's workstation. So if there's a question about the recipe, Jim can answer it for you.
I'm going to be 67 years old.
Hey, Mark, in the water,
Barbara's going to start passing out We're going to have Bob Berger. Bob is has got his lobster formarte. Anyway, he'll say it better than I do. Bob is going to, he's getting a few last minute details done on his table, and then he's going to be plating. And like I said, once again, please disregard the number. I don't know if anybody could see it, but I'm going to just try to tilt one up a little bit. I just think that is so creative with what he's done. It looks like a little lobster custard, but I don't want to tilt it too much. So,
And there goes
so Bob, what are you pouring for everybody?
So this is a sparkling wine from Schramsberg, California. It's very good. It's kind of creamy. Hopefully, it'll go well with the sformante, which is a cross between a custard and a souffle. And well, let you taste it. Right?
So it is a sparkling wine that has a slightly creamy taste, he said, and it should pair well.
Now I have to go back to the green.
It's a tough day for these judges, I'm telling you.
Everybody needs a box. What are you serving us to drink?
This is called, they're calling it Lobsterman's Punch.
Lobsterman's punch.
It's a takeoff,
Am I gonna need a DD after I drink this punch?
Is this an...
non-alcoholic. Vinegar and ginger.
Did you do the napkin?
No. Very cute. No, I didn't. Oh, nice. It's a little thicker than it should have been. Yeah.
You guys, I hope aren't getting too full.
No.
Okay. Did you want to try the first? What's the number on this? Is this 2? Number 2. What was that number? That was number 4.
Anybody else?
So this is Sue Jobs serving the Maine seafood and grits. Sue, what did you pair your meal with?
I paired it with a semi-Chardonnay, and to like Chardonnay, I figured with the richness of the grits and stuff. It'd be a nice pairing.
Very good. Do judges have any questions for Sue?
Can you describe the dish to
Okay,
us?
it's a sous vide lobster over grits that have buttermilk, chicken stock, chives, pimento, shallots, garlic, a lot of different things. Buttermilk. So, and I have a small pea sprout salad with a light vinaigrette. Shallots, garlic. I'm from South Carolina. Yeah.
These are southern grits?
The hat.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah.
When the top's not peeled off, there's the vein that runs away,
down
and
the
I
middle.
wanted to make sure that, I know.
Yeah, I
it's
cut down the back.
Yeah.
Peeled it off.
Important.
By the way.
Thank you. And we really so appreciate you coming up. He came up from New Jersey. Put a ton of effort, obviously, into his dish, and we very much appreciate you and your wife coming up. And I look forward to trying your dish. Thank you. Moving on to the final table of the competition, and this is King Choy, and it is a butter poached Maine lobster tail with a fried lobster claws on noodles in a spinach sauce. Okay. It looks extraordinary, and I'm going to let you explain to the audience. I'm going to hand you the mic because it might take a minute.
Sure. So people in the tri-state, down in Jersey, we love the Maine lobster down there, and most of the lobster I taste are somewhat a bit overcooked, especially in the tail area. In the Chinese restaurant, when they stir fry with garlic and ginger, the traditional Cantonese way of making it can be overcooked and it's a bit rubberish. So what I'm trying to do is try to maintain that flavor, but I'm introducing new style of cuisine, molecular cuisine, and also sous vide, which is a slow cook under vacuum process, which is I think is also used by another contestant here. And what I'm trying to do is to after boiling lobster, you would sous vide this in crushed garlic butter for about 20 minutes at 140 degrees Fahrenheit, and try to lock in the flavor, and the butter will also have the lobster flavor, so I can use that later for my noodles. And the claws are deep fried. They are lightly seasoned with Himalayan salt and also with anchovy chili pepper at about 2,000 Scoville heat unit, which is just a light touch of the spiciness, so it doesn't overpower the lobster, because it's such a great animal and it's tasty. I want to be able to taste the freshness of the lobster. So what I got today, I think the hardest part of the recipe is to actually get the live lobster early in the morning. And this is also the season for shedding. I actually have to read up on my biology 101 lessons back in college to see how lobsters behave. So it turns out that getting hard-shell lobster is very difficult over here. And I was able to get some over in Rockland, so I try my best to become a local over a one-day period. Just drive around all over the place and get the best place for lobster. So I'm able to get some over here. The noodles is a Ifu noodles. It's a Cantonese noodles that is pre-fried. So it's porous and it's able to sponge up a lot of the sauce. And the sauce basically is a lobster stock that I made. And you see the torch that I was using earlier was to roast the shell, bring out the flavor. The spinach sauce at the bottom is basically I first beat up the lobster stock and the garlic powder that was poaching the lobster in. Beat it up and you kind of bring air into the liquid. And when after that you will blend it with a chilled, slightly blanched spinach. You can get the sauce to be quite even, so it doesn't have much flakes in it left. And also garnish with a little bit of microgreens and some chili pepper flakes on top. So that's the dish that we have. Hope you guys enjoy. Give a little bit of
Have you deveined it? Or do we need to devein it?
I would probably move the claws on the side so you can keep the crunchiness of that.
Okay, so it is cut into pieces. Okay, wonderful.
Right.
And it's deveined.
Okay. So, and I pick the anchovy chili pepper because it has the light spiciness to it. 2,000 Scoville.
Maybe. So they allow us to go back to That's the way not a put it back together. Yeah, how did it a lot of
And I like the idea about raffling off a fourth place, and I'll do the olive oil and vinegar on each of those plates. How will that be?
That would be beautiful.
All right.
Thank you.
So as part of our sponsorship, we're going to award the first, second, and third place contestants. Third place will be a $35 gift certificate and a citrus and berry Fiore gift package. 5 little bottles of citrus and berry olive oils or balsamics. The second place is a $75 gift certificate and a savory Fiore gift pack, which has more herby olive oils and balsamics. And then for the first prize, it'll be a $100 gift certificate and a gourmet Fiore gift pack that has truffle oil, sesame oil, walnut oil, balsamic.
Pretty good stuff. And thank you, Jack, very, very much. And the reason I say that I can't really tell you the amount is because we do get, like, I get a lot of people that actually just put in, I make a good lobster stew, or I make a great, you know, and maybe they do, but we try to get some, it's one-of-a-kind things that, you know, that are interesting that people that you don't already make yourself, so. Huh? Oh, no, I would say it's over 50. It's over 50, not thousands. I wish it was thousands. That would take a lot of cocktails, though. Holy crap. Anyway, so we'll get you the results very shortly. Oh.
After a hard day's work, the judges, where are they going for lunch?
Yeah, hey judges, we had a question, where after all this hard work, where are you guys going for lunch? Probably home for a little nap, after wine and all this food.
You may have already answered this question, but how you select the judges and who they are, you already answered that?
We have talked with the judges a little bit, but each year I look for somebody that runs a local restaurant in our Mid-Coast area because we have so many great restaurants. And this year we have Kelly Woods from Trackside Station, and once again Kelly has also been a director of the Lobster Festival and actually the coordinator of this cooking contest at one time for a number of years. So thank you to Kelly. And then we have Sharon Joyce. Sharon is from Bar Harbor, Maine. Well, I think that was where you live now. You're not from. Where are you actually from? Along a lot of places. Sharon runs the Ambrosia Cooking School up in Bar Harbor. And we thank her very, very much for coming all this way down. And the third judge is the XO on the USS Mahan, the Navy ship that's visiting the festival. Emily Wall. Thank you, Emily. Great.
What does XO mean?
XO is
Executive officer.
executive officer.
She can tell you, but she has to kill you.
All right, so I'm going to confer with the judges, and right after that we'll be awarding the prizes. So we have the results from this year's cooking contest, but first, after they've got to eat all these awesome meals, we're going to let them have some lovely prizes or parting gifts or whatever, to say thank you for taking the time to come and do this for us. So the first judge that I would like to have come up is Kelly Woods. Kelly, come on up. Everybody give a round of applause. Kelly gets a plaque, and a baseball hat, a new Lobster Festival baseball hat. And I do just want to give a little plug because we have these awesome. It's beautiful. And we have a 70th anniversary, a mug from the Lobster Festival with the poster on it. So each judge is going to get that. So thank you.
What about the lifetime supply of rice-a-roni in San Francisco?
Okay. And then next.
I don't know.
And we have Emily Wall, the XO. And Emily, I picked out a red, white, and blue hat for you from the Lobster Festival, so thank you. And last but certainly not least is Sharon Joyce. And your plaque is in here too. Your plaque, and gave you a hat and a mug. Thank you very much so much. And then we have as a finalist Bob Borger, with the lobster King Choy with the butter poached Maine lobster tail with fried lobster claws in noodles in a spinach sauce. So thank you very much. All right, and then once again, Pat is going to be helping me with the first, second, and third. And so we're going to go third place. Third place is Maynard Stanley. Maynard for the lobster shiitake and spring rolls. So congratulations, Maynard. Wonderful. All right, it's getting down there, huh, guys? So with second place, with the Maine Seafood and Grits, Sue Joes. Congratulations, Sue. And I guess that leaves the big cheering section over here for Mr. Jim Stone. First place. Congratulations, Jim. Thank you all so very, very much. And it was, I think that judges will agree. I mean, they sat over there. It was an extremely difficult choice, I would say, right, judges?
I mean, everyone is such an amazing I don't need to eat till tomorrow, but it's delicious. And that, I need to say, I've never had scallops with the blood orange in them, and oh, delicious. So good, so good.
Thank you all very, very much. And thank you everybody in the audience for coming.
Back for the courier.
How do I add a picture?